Welcome to Newcastle Fans TV, Newcastle 0, Brighton 0. We're here with Rob, our columnist for our website. Make sure you check it out. So Rob, 0-0 with Brighton. Frankly, I was bored out of my mind.
Well, the first half wasn't as entertaining as the second half was. Frustrating is a word to describe it because we were dominant in the second part, the second half. If you offered me 0-0 before the game, I wouldn't have taken that. So to come away without the 3 points is not ideal, but given how cramped the bottom half of the table is at the moment on points, sorry, I will always look on the positive side and say, 1 point is better than none at the end of the day.
Doesn't mean that the next two, which is Stoke away and Swansea at home, they've now become must-wins, both of them.
Yes, definitely. If you look at Stoke, how inconsistent they've been this season. Today, humiliated by Chelsea. That's the best time to play them. Kick them while they're down. Whereas, if you look at our last few games, we had dignified defeats against Arsenal, Man City. We limited them, and so whereas they've been humiliated, their confidence is just gonna plummet, whereas ours, we seem to have gained confidence from those dignified defeats. It gave us the edge over West Ham last week, and today I was expecting us to have the edge in that respect over Brighton today, but like I say, 1 point is better than none.
Talk about manager swapping. A lot of teams around us have done so.
Yeah.
We've stuck with ours, which, it's been interesting because there's been a lot of people in the media saying that we seem to Rafa Benitez is untouchable. Is that the case?
Well, fans have come in for criticism of the tactics.
Yeah.
In my personal point of view, no. No manager in the right mind, anywhere near Rafa's calibre, would want to come here. No manager in the right mind would want to do that. So we need to stick with Rafa. We can't go with the flow of what the teams around us have been doing. We need to stick with Rafa. That is imperative, and I'm sure the majority of fans will back him all the way to the hills, because no other manager, we are not going to get a Premier League quality manager in if he walks.
Yeah, exactly. I completely agree. But it does seem, moving into January now, that he, with the team he put out against Man City, there being some people saying that he's almost trying to make a point more than anything about players that need to be brought in, and trying to persuade the current owner that we need to spend money, otherwise we're not going to stay in the Premier League. He's not a magician. He can only work with what he's got. And I looked at that team today and I thought, it's not enough. It genuinely isn't enough.
It's inconsistent. It can pull off results on our day, but inconsistently so, and that's not really enough. We need to, first and foremost, we need survival first, and whether that team is capable of survival, that's another question in itself. True, like what we've said past few weeks, it's generally speaking, it's not a Premier League quality side. It's not a Premier League quality side, and so yes, it is imperative that we need to move. The one thing that Ashley and Staveley are disagreeing on is the relegation clause, so to basically keep the receipt, essentially, and that's even more reason for Ashley to probably not spend in January, which that is my biggest fear. Well,
there's this whole thing that one of the things that was said to be agreed on was that any money spent in January would be reimbursed, but of course if that's to happen, it's almost that the takeover is happening. Because Ashley was like, well, I can spend whatever the hell I like and I'll just get reimbursed for it, or there's some kind of agreement that he will actually get paid back, because he's not going to do it if he's not going to get the money. So if you were Rafa and you had the pennies that you've got to work with, who would you be wanting to bring in?
Striker, first of all. Daniel Sturridge has been named. He was named in the summer. He's been named now. We will be facing competition for him. It's down to him. It's down to Liverpool whether we've got enough for him. Another Liverpool striker, despite his injury proneness, Danny Ings, I would still accept him because he did well in his spell at Burnley. We need a leader. I know we've got Lascelles, but during our dodgy run recently, we really lacked a leader. I know Clark had experience of the captaincy during his time at Villa, but it just never seemed enough. It just wasn't Lascelles' quality leadership, and we need that as a backup should Lascelles get injured again, God forbid, of course.
Brilliant. Thank you very much.
Thanks very much. Cheers.